The CSU Fresno Chemistry Department enhanced its curriculum by incorporating service learning activities into 2 classes and a first-year laboratory. In the 2011 to 2012 academic year, 500 student volunteers contributed 1,800 hours of community service, including mentoring primary and secondary level students at the Discovery Science Center. This effort also involved creating science kits and demonstrations. The CSU Fresno students also did field work collecting water samples for testing purposes in order to provide valuable data on local water quality. Ultimately, students gained real-world experience in a locally owned environmental testing laboratory, APPL Incorporated, which is owned by alumni from Fresno State. Here is the rest of the story.
I think the reason that we've look to incorporate service learning into the curriculum is really to give the students a more well-rounded experience here at Fresno State. We take what they're learning in the classroom and what they're learning in the laboratory classroom as well, and applying that to the real world.
The service learning class came out of a conversation we had with Diane Anderson, the owner of Agriculture and Priority Pollutants Laboratory, regarding how we could get students better experience and involve the laboratory in the education of our students.
I learn the best when I have hands-on experience. Like, I can sit in a class and listen to a lecture, and I won't get nearly as much information as if I were to actually go, like here. I can just see things, see what is happening, why we actually use what we're doing. It was a huge, huge difference compared to other classes.
Service learning class is an instrumental analysis class taken by students in their senior year of the chemistry major. It's a course that covers the instrumental analysis of chemical samples. Up to this point, they've dealt a lot with theory, and now we're getting into the theory of modern instrumentation.
But here we actually got to go out to the site, sample all the water samples, and then we got to test them using multiple methods that we've never experienced before. It's all industry related compared to just academic.
And the testing in an accredited laboratory using standard operating procedures is something students in the most chemistry majors, and ours certainly, weren't getting a real strong background, and it was noted as a weakness by our advisory board.
When we got the email saying, would you like it at a lab outside of class or at Fresno State, I was like, I want to go, I want to learn new things, so I was definitely on board to come here.
Apple has up-to-date and state-of-the-art equipment. You can see it behind me. They have much more equipment than Fresno State's able to operate. And by using Apple's methods, the students were able to get on the equipment that's the current state-of-the-art used in the industry. This is the industry right here where they're looking for jobs. Several of our students have been hired based on that professional experience already. The lab this lab employs more than half of their analysts are Fresno State grads.
I have a full-time job now, and I've never thought I would have that right after I graduate. It was huge, like very unexpected. I like my job, I love my job, so it's definitely changed my life.
We were able to teach the class here in the conference room in the building, which was nice as far as being local with the laboratories, but that's really a challenge, and something I'm still working on is the traditional style of lecturing and here's the theory behind it just doesn't connect once we change the lab away from let's just investigate how this instrument works to let's use it. And so I'm going to have to change up the lecture and the lecture style a little bit to match up with the level of engagement and energy that you have in the laboratory. And so that's shifting a little bit. It's changing how I teach those types of components.
I think as a tenure track faculty, we're always worried about our time, as with most people. And I'd say service learning is a way to really gain your own passionate experience about what it is to be a scientist and what it means to be an educator. And I don't think there's any other experience that really integrates all of those things besides service learning. So it's been a really valuable experience, and I'd encourage anybody, whether or not they're tenure track, associate, full professor, that they should get involved.
We all know chemistry can be very difficult. There's a lot of challenges for a lot of students, but then there's some students who struggle with it, but having the creative outlet to create their own kit, because that's what we do in 1B. They create a learning kit that we can use the next semester. And that creativity to dig into the subject deeper, and they get to choose whatever topic they want that relates to their freshman chemistry. So they got some control, they've got some creativity, so it kind of breaks them from the, oh, this is so hard, I'm always doing these reactions and blah, 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 and answering the test question, but now they get to apply it. It's almost like a mini research project. So now they're like, oh, this is what research is like. Then we get them hooked into doing research when they progress through the program. So it's a win-win situation for everyone.
I think service learning for our own students and their education is probably one of the most valuable experiences that they can gain as an undergraduate. I think it's a way for them to learn and experience what it is to communicate with others in a way that they can't do in the regular lecture and laboratory setting.
As far as other valuable lessons you can learn from service learning, I think that you also have a great chance to network with other like-minded people and to learn more about your field when you engage in learning like that.
I like those light bulb moments. You know, when they see a new perspective of things, when you see that light bulb go off, they get a passion. You know, they take what they've learned, take this new knowledge they gained, and just make a personal relationship with it, and that's always great to see.
Really what I want to do is be a high school chemistry teacher. So this is right up my alley in trying to prepare myself for eventually life after school.
You go to lecture, you go to lab, and you do your service learning project. It's not just another little puzzle piece that's kind of forced in there at an opportune moment, that it becomes a portion of the experience here at Fresno State.